In this video, I will show you how to export your TVPaint project in order to continue working on it in After Effects. As an example, I am using a project with different animation layers and a camera movement. As you can see, I have plenty of different layers with different names that I would like to import in After Effects. First, I will show you how to export your project. In File, go to Export to and click on the tab Clip Layer Structure. In the Structure menu, choose Json plus Images. Check the Visible Layers option if you want to export only the layers that are visible in your project. Keep it unchecked if you want to export all your layers, even those which are not visible. Folder name pattern and file name pattern will allow you to manage the naming of your exported folders and files. In Exclude Names, you can type the name of the images you do not want to export. You can choose the format of your exported images here. The options available are different depending on the format. Here, for example, I choose to export my images in PNG, which allows me to keep the transparency in the images. I have different options for this PNG format. I am going to keep the RGBA, which is the red, green, blue, and alpha, and the alpha is necessary to keep the transparency of my images, and I will keep the other format options the way they are. If I check background, the background, here white, will be exported for every image, which is not what I want. If I wish to keep the transparency of my images, I will thus keep this option unchecked. Before exporting, I will need to create a folder manually, in which all the folders and files of my export will be stored. So now I create a folder called Export After Effects that will contain my future export. I can go back to TVPaint and I click on Browse to select the destination folder I just created. And when all my settings are ready, I can click on Export. Depending on the size of your project, the export can be fast or slow. When the export is over, I can have a look at my Export After Effects folder, and I see that all the folders within correspond to all the layers in my project. There is an additional file with the extension .json, which I will use later on this tutorial. In order to get the import window in After Effects, I will need to run the script import json.jsx. I can now go to File, Scripts, Run Scripts file, and get the import json.jsx file. The script file can be found in your TVPaint Animation install folder from the 11.0.8 version of the software. I have now the import window. I can choose to import the camera or not. As key values means you will import the camera movement timing, which can be edited later in After Effects. As raw values means you will import the camera movements directly translated as images and non-editable. Layer colors will import your layers' color groups. Blending modes will import the blending modes in your layers. Time remap will import the timing of your animation. If you uncheck it, all your frames will be next to each other. Pre-post behaviors will import the pre and post behaviors from your TVPaint project. The options blending modes and pre and post behaviors are limited in After Effects because all these options are not available in this software. Clicking on Browse must be your last step when you are happy with your import settings because it will directly import your project. After clicking on Browse, look for your export folder and double-click on the JSON file to open it. Depending on the size of your project, the import can be fast or take some time. Once the import is done, close the import window. You can see that I have two compositions, one with the camera and another one without it. In both compositions, all my layers have been imported as well as their color groups. On my other composition, I have the view with the camera movement, which I will be able to edit. I can see in my folder all the separate images of my project. Now that I have imported my TVPaint project, I can continue working on it with After Effects.